Hello, hello. Hey, Nicholas. How are you doing? Oh, so I am doing a lot better than 2 days ago. I'm still pretty tired though because I've been falling behind on my sleep schedule. It was sort of knocked off because of the period, but also because, you know, just John's, TSW symptoms were acting up a little bit in like over the weekend. So we both lost a lot of sleep. So that's definitely kind of kicking me in the face right now. Um, but symptom wise, I'm doing much, much better than 2 days ago. So I am I'm pretty set to go to practice today, but I think I might, just for the sake of self preservation, I think I'm going to sit while I practice today. Um, I'm not completely done my period, so I'm also aware that I'm also just still a bit tired just from that. So, yeah, I do kind of feel like I got beaten up over several days in a row. that's that's kind of where I'm at right now, but I did want to practice. And I noticed I got some pretty good little clips from the last stream, even though it sort of turned into a random AMA. So I am planning on updating um, the thumbnail to go with it, just so that for future reference, if you guys want to go back and watch it, it's very clear that it's an AMA. Like I might just put a big red X over the practice with me and just like bad Photoshop it with AMA, just so it's really clear. But yeah, I got some pretty good clips on there, so I will be turning those into like little reels and shorts and stories for YouTube shorts and also for Instagram. So that's going to be pretty fun. I didn't expect that. Like I didn't expect quite a few little gems to come out of the last stream, but there was. Um, Amir, you're preparing for sleep. I should have put that in the poll. I wish that the poll had more than four like answers that I could put in there. Like I get why YouTube would put a restriction, but they don't let me put more than four. Okay, but you're preparing for sleep. I hope you have a lovely sleep. Um, by the way, just realize you guys might want to look at my my flute. So there you go. You guys can look at my flute while we talk. Um, Hello, Deanna. Hello, Duck. Um, let's see. Deanna, you are past the 24-hour mark again. You too. Oh, man. Oh, to be a woman. Let's see. So, Amir, you had the first orientation at uni on Wednesday for your bachelor's in computer science, and you're starting uni at the end of October. Oh my gosh, congratulations. That is huge. It at least okay, some people will argue that getting into music school is like one of the hardest things you can do. In my opinion, I think maybe because math and sciencey things are just, not my natural thing to do. Um, I find it amazing. I find it absolutely stunning that, you guys can hold all of that information in your head um, to like, get into a degree for computer science. That is wildly amazing. So, yeah, it was hard. Exactly. um, like, I guess as a person who has done the like music school thing, yes, there are many other music schools I could not get into that I'm not good enough to get into. I didn't even try for Juilliard. I also did not even try the San Francisco Conservatory. Did not try any of the big conservatories like Oberlin, etc. I didn't even try. So I understand that if you're going for like the top schools in music, yes, absolutely, it's very difficult. However, in my opinion, I don't actually think that as musicians, we have to keep as much in our heads as people in like math and science, like and like computer science, you know. That's wild and amazing. And I hope you really enjoy yourself and, you know, just like have fun making things. Cause like when, you know, when I watch my hubs do any sort of computery thing, it's like magic. I swear, it's like magic. And he told me too that like, um, you know, you're developing good code if it feels like magic. Like programming should feel like magic. And yeah, he's right. I mean, to me, it looks like magic. You know, he will set up things to make things more convenient in our home. You know, random automated things and you know, things that, for example, we can call our hot water whenever we want, because he made a little like some sort of script or something so that we could just sort of, you know, type a little thing, be like, we want hot water now. And there's like a little button we can press. Not a physical button, but like on our phones. So like, you know, things like that. And it truly is like magic, and it is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Hi, Michael. And you love the university, Amir. That's fantastic. The university itself is gorgeous, and the staff looks so nice. Oh, that's the best. Truly, I think that's something that people need to really keep in mind when you are looking for a university. You want to go to a place that you feel comfortable and that you like the look of, because you're going to be looking at it for 4+ years. All right. Like that is going to be essentially your home for 4+ years. And that is a significant chunk of your life. So yeah, don't go to a place that makes you miserable, is really what I'm saying. And, you know, every university kind of fits every, you know, different people. You know what I mean? So like, it, you know, just because one person hates the look of one university, it does not mean that someone else will also hate it. You know, different people, you know, different people, different preferences. So, yeah. But yeah, Ninja Hubs, he's so cool. He's very, very cool. I mean, a lot of what I do right now is actually thanks to him. Like my computer being powerful enough to stream like this is absolutely thanks to him. I don't know if I would, I think, have the patience to figure out how to build a computer. Like he built this computer for me. So yeah. Deanna, you just got all the furniture moved back into the place in your living room after moving everything to vacuum up the pet hair from over the summer to clean under around. Oh, you're doing like major fall cleaning, right? It's like essentially like the seasonal cleaning. Oh, that's big, because that's like moving straight up. You must feel so good with the furniture back in. Oh, what a strange feeling of destabilization when, you know, you need to kind of like move your furniture in your home elsewhere so that you can clean. It's so weird because it's like you're not actually moving, but you're like physically moving enough of the furniture that it sort of like destabilizes your feeling of home, right? Yeah, exactly. Oh, you must feel so good right now. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Hey, Steve, how are you? Welcome back. Um, and Michael is also doing house chores. Lovely, lovely. I get it, guys. I get it. I'm, you know, like, I also put videos on when I'm doing chores. It just makes it all go, you know, like faster. I'm distracted while I'm doing it, so it doesn't feel as long. So I'm very happy to provide this space for you guys. But anyway, let's take out my flute and kind of see where things are. I did play a little bit this morning to sort of demonstrate things to students, but you know, to be fair, I haven't had a proper practice session since last week. And last week was also a little bit weird too, because I noted last week that I was like, I could feel that everything was sort of swollen. And that took me by surprise because my period came early. So I wasn't expecting to be that swollen at that time, but the swelling inside of my mouth is a very typical PMS symptom for me. So I should have seen it coming. I should have seen it coming, guys, but I didn't. But I did note that last week. So I am curious to see if, like, I'll do some harmonics right now just as sort of a diagnostic tool to see how my mouth is feeling. Because if I feel like I don't have to open my mouth as big, then that will mean that the swelling is going down, which is nice. Hopefully that is the case, but we don't know until I try. When I was playing flute for my students this morning, it felt pretty comfortable. So I'm guessing that the swelling has come down at least a bit. So, yeah. Nicholas, you're thinking of doing a Harry Potter marathon sometime soon. Oh my God. Oh my God. Nostalgia, man, nostalgia. Oh, but truly, I feel like, I know some people don't like how gritty it ends up becoming. Like, I think David Yates, right, is the final director of the last few movies, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, isn't it from Order of the Phoenix and onwards was David Yates? I personally really loved how gritty and grown up he made it. But the more I talk about what I like in art, the more I realize I just like gritty art. I don't know. I've always loved very gritty art. Things that deal with the concept of like life, death, like your values, challenging your values, that type of thing. And I felt like he really brought that into the movies personally. You love the last two. Same. For me, the last two, like essentially part 1 and part 2 of Deathly Hallows. That for me, I was like, yes, this is like really kind of getting into the very like nitty gritty of life, So, yeah. You need to get the new ones, Deanna. I actually haven't bought, I think, any of the movies. Because I believe my brother took those. Yeah, I think my brother took those. And I think he also was the one who took the Harry, because we shared like a lot of our books. So like, this Lord of the Rings that you see here, I actually bought this used for myself when I grew up. But I actually grew up reading my brother's copy. And I have the Narnia books in here too. And those ones I also bought for myself when I grew up. Because, yeah, I shared all these books with my brother. But the Harry Potter books are actually the ones that I have not gotten for myself yet. And thus also the movies. So I know. You watch them on Max. I know. I was thinking I would just, because the thing is, I bought Pacific Rim, like on my Apple device, like, and so now I can watch it I can still watch it through Apple, but it's actually kind of nice. It's kind of nice to just sort of stream it and not have to own the physical copy. But for something like as classic as like the Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia, Harry Potter, I feel like it's kind of nice to have physical copies. It's just it's that grown-up thing where you want to like kind of display the things that you grew up with and your like art and books and stuff that like kind of reflects your worldview. So yeah. Amir, you have a lot of them in Hebrew and you love reading them in English. I often wonder, like, how changing the language can sort of change the kind of underlying implications and stuff like that, and like how they localize it and stuff like that too. Because I almost feel like you almost get a slightly different flavor of the same story, you know? And I love that. I think that's amazing. I think that's so cool. Like, I only really started thinking about localization and what that meant when John explained it to me in the context of JRPGs, Japanese role-playing games. So they're the type of video games that are very story-driven, and that that type of game, I believe, originated in Japan. And so when they're translated over to English, they will actually change how some things are straight up phrased and worded to get the same feeling across, but it's localized to, you know, a phrase that we would use in English, or that like in the States is more, you know, widely known. So like the big joke that people like to make is how Phoenix Wright and his little assistant, they have ramen in the original version of the game. But when they localized it at the time, ramen was not a big thing in the United States. It was still seen as a very, very like niche cultural food. And so like there was no concept of kind of the ramen that we know, like going to ramen restaurants and stuff like that. So at the time, they localized it to burgers. So there's this like long-standing running joke about, you know, eating your traditional burgers overlooking Mount Fuji. So, yeah. Localization is very fun. Yeah. Yeah, like how does the whole I am Voldemort Tom Riddle thing work in Hebrew? I'm so interested in that too. Yeah. Huh. Oh my gosh, Steve, you're rereading the Chronicles of Narnia? You're halfway through Silverchair? Oh my God, guys. The Chronicles of Narnia just absolutely like really shaped my worldview as a child. For me, I think I really fell in love with the really strong female characters. Erebus was my favorite, absolute favorite from The Horse and His Boy. Just what a strong woman, you know? Oh my God. Just, ugh. Like, absolutely had a girl crush on her. Like, just wanted to be her. Had that, oh my God. I loved it. Yeah. In French, Tom is Elvis Je du sort. Is it so that it can be Je suis Voldemort? Is that actually what it... Wait, really? That's insane. That's so cool. See, that's what you call localization. Amazing. Tom Elvis. I love it. I love it. Then I wonder if people who read it in different languages figured it out way earlier than everyone else. Right? That's amazing. Oh, Michael, you had ramen for lunch today? Oh, that sounds so good. I love it. Imagine Voldemort just starts dancing. Oh, I love it. Okay, let's put the flute together. Just to kind of save on a little bit of real estate here on the screen, I'm going to put that away. Let's put our practice list up. So I updated it in the video description. We're doing what we should have done on Tuesday. So everything is just going to be knocked off by one, and it doesn't matter. It's okay. All right? It's fine. So we're just going to do this. It is Tom Marvolo Riddle in Hebrew? Oh, because it's a phonetic language. Okay. I could see how that would work. I could see how that would work. Then I wonder if maybe it's like the same in like Japanese because they could just use katakana, right? I find it so interesting how they localized it. Interesting. Okay. Again, just so you guys know, for today, I am sitting because I'm not at my 100% yet. So we're just going to sit. I'm going to try and make sure that I'm still, what's the word, supporting very well. But let's see what happens. Still feels quite swollen to me. Still feels quite swollen. Yeah, still swollen. I'm not going to attempt the high D because I can tell we have no space for it. However, I don't know if you guys noticed, but that high G is now quite stable, which means that everything that we worked on last week absolutely still kind of like it actually sank in. So yes, we took a break, but I know exactly where to place it now. So we are still making progress. I'm very happy about that. But yes, the diagnosis is that I absolutely am still swollen. I can still tell that I need to open up my mouth more. Duck, you got your music for the Portland Youth Wind Ensemble. Beautiful. Can you let us know what is on your list? We would love to nerd out with you and celebrate. All right. Good night, Amir. Good night. Good night. My hair got really long. Yes, it really did. I really need to trim it. I really need to trim it. It's doing that thing now where, because like whenever it gets to about waist level, it's actually very slightly getting beyond waist level now. It gets like caught in car doors and like seat belts and stuff like that. So I really do need to trim it a few inches. I want to say it's just every time I think about trimming it, because I actually trim it myself. Every single time I think of trimming it, I'm always like, I am too tired right now. So that's what's happening here. Yeah, not chopping it. I think I still really like, I enjoy long hair. So, but it's starting to get a little bit crazy, you know? Yeah, it's. So, and like the very ends are getting a little dry. Like I don't get split ends anymore, but they are getting a bit dry. You can probably tell from the light as well. It's a little bit drier than up here, you know? So, sounds painful. It is a bit. But because the hair is long enough, sometimes you don't really feel it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, it's caught. You know, like, because it's like the ends and it's long enough that you're not actually tugging on it, you know? So, anyway. But yes, it is getting very long, but it's getting very inconvenient. Oh well. Okay, so we got our diagnosis down for our harmonics. Let's move on to not the 480 exercises. I did not actually update this on my actual thing here. So give me a second to do that right quick. Let's see. So we have here, we're going to do Moïse de la Sonorite, page 25, number 1 in D flat major this time. Okay. So let's do that. Give me a second to reformat this. There we go. And then we can take out a space from here. And then we are going to learn/memorize Alicia from Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which I don't know if you guys heard, but apparently they are working on another addition to the same franchise. So may not be a sequel, but it sure sounds like they are working on like essentially within the same world. So I'm very excited about that because I am nerdy enough that I hope they are writing or creating a game around at least one of the factions that I hope that they are exploring. I really hope. But yeah, just some nerdy things there. They're apparently working on another game within the same franchise. So I'm super excited. But okay, that's what we're gonna do today. It is in the video description below. So if you guys want to have that read out to you with like a text reader or something, it is down there for you. So next we are going to do Moïse de la Sonorite, page 25, number 1 in D flat major. So this is the one where we're going to be playing no vibrato, quite soft, leading with our air support, with our breath. So let's see how that goes. Let's get our little highlight going. And we're going to do that. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so scrolling down. This is going to feel a little bit like a workout for sure, but we like a good workout. Okay, here we go. not bad. Not bad for how I'm feeling. This is not an excuse, but I'm going to put it out there that I have quite a bit of phlegm hanging out in the back of my nose, and this is really clearing it right now. Sorry, I know that that sounded gross, but it's reality. I do think that I'm doing better leading with my breath. I think there's still some notes here and there that I'm still kind of going, playing them. So I have to just really make sure I'm leading with my breath, and not kind of like really spanking notes out, if that makes sense. Like I have to be, you know, that kind of swoopy sort of leading momentum flowy sound, and that's with the breath. So slightly newish concept to me, but it is settling in quite nicely. So I'm just gonna see again. So he wants me to play it again, so twice. No, number one. Play Andante twice from beginning to end in a soft tone pianissimo. Yep, okay. No vibrato. Be accurate. And don't accent, yeah, don't punch the big intervals. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we're looking for a very kind of exposed, kind of like naked sound, as he was saying. So, okay, that was our first time. We got to do it a second time now. Here we go. Oh. Yeah. No. Okay, so I discovered something. When I'm pushing with my air, with my breath, sometimes I'm pushing down against it up here, and that's causing that stagnation. So I have to keep allowing the air to keep moving up here while I push down here. Because I think I'm like kind of subconsciously suppressing downward. So there is one note that I want to try this on. It's about part way through here. So I'll try that again. Yeah, I think I need to get used to not suppressing against my support up here. I'm doing this kind of like thing where I will like grind correctly here, but then I'll suppress it down from my chest. So that's a new thing. I'm not going to overdo it though, because this particular exercise is very fatiguing. And Moïse himself tells you to only do it twice in a row. So, okay. I'm going to change this for next time so that I can keep this in mind and have something to check back on. But the next time we're going to do this in C major. So, because I think he wants you to do it in C major and then B major. Yeah. So next time we'll be in C major. Okay, so that's what I'm going to keep in mind now that I'm going to go to Alicia from Clair-Obscur. This kind of same idea, make sure that when I'm leading with my breath, that I'm not also kind of suppressing it from my chest. Is that because I'm not using vibrato? It could be. And it could be that I use vibrato as a crutch, you know, where like it kind of allowed me to, like it distracted me enough for me to not feel myself kind of suppressing down. I'm wondering if it's a crutch, personally. Okay, so let's move this down here so anyone dropping in will know what we are doing. Lovely, lovely. Okay, great. But yes, I do think the no vibrato is just kind of revealing a lot of things about like just kind of subconscious things that I do. So yeah, this is definitely one of them. Anyway, we're going to go to Alicia. So for those who are dropping in and wondering why I am randomly learning some video game music, it is because Clair-Obscur Expedition 33 is extremely French. It is a French story made by French people and French artists and French musicians. It's super French. And I personally have had a bit of a disconnect with French music, particularly French music for the flute. And a lot of flute repertoire on the flute that we know now, the metal flute, a lot of it, a lot of the history of this flute is built on music that was written for the flute by French composers in the like kind of like 1800s-ish. You know, I personally have had a huge disconnect with that type of music. I never really felt like I ever played it right. It just kind of felt like very disjointed and just like I didn't get it. It didn't click for me. But Clair-Obscur Expedition 33 is the first piece of French art, and I really treat it as art, that I personally have felt very connected to. You know, there's even an Asian character in it. I kind of really loved the fact that I could really connect with this and with the music. And so in an effort to revisit the Iber Concerto, because one of the big things about the Iber Concerto that I have really wanted to tackle, you know, towards the end of last year was just the fact that I feel that disconnect. Like, I feel like every time I start playing the Iber, I kind of turn really rigid and I just kind of like try to play it technically correct. And I just don't really know how to express through it. But with clair-obscur, I find that I'm able to connect with that expression point, and then, you know, it's a happy accident that we're working on the della sonorite kind of expression bit. And so like I'm able to sort of like kind of connect all the dots right now. So that's what's happening. So we're not just learning clair-obscur music because I'm obsessed with it. I am obsessed with it, but that's not the only reason. There is a beautifully nerdy reason for this. So we're going to start from the top and kind of really focus on leading with the breath, letting it be very open and clear and not suppressed. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so there are definitely a few spots I'm catching myself suppressing again. So I just have to make sure that I just like keep that flow going, keep that leading with support. I think I'm just not really used to like continuously leading with my breath. So let's try that again. Okay, immediately I'm noticing that in the spots that I'm wanting to close up, those are actually the spots that I need to use my lip to kind of redirect the air for tuning purposes and also for tapers. So I think I am suppressing when I want to, wherever I should actually be using my lips to kind of like redirect the air. So keeping that in mind, we're going to do it again with this kind of like intentionality. All right, here we go. Okay. So I think I'm suppressing when I want to make the airstream smaller. I think that's what it is. So I'm actually suppressing here rather than actually making the airstream smaller. That's a big one. Because if I only use my lower lip to taper around, it just cuts off the note rather than actually having it become smaller. Okay? Okay, that's another spot I want to explore a bit. All right, better, but I think I need a day for all those concepts to kind of settle, marinate a little bit, you know? Um, so, but I can feel that I'm like sort of at the edge of having everything fall into place. So I think it'll be good next week. So I think what I want to focus on now is just learning this middle section. So after that is this like fun little middle section where the instrumentalists come in, because the part that I just played is sung. So here we go. All right, there's those tiny notes I was looking for. Okay, we're going to do this a few more times. Let's see, Steve, what you had to say. You like to think of air flowing from the ground through you. I am a pipe, volume controlled by my feet, or the spirit of the music which is holding you up. Yeah, that's a great way of doing it because it opens everything up and it prevents any of this kind of feeling of suppression. Yeah. I like that. All right, we're going to continue learning this little middle section. getting that flow again. Like I'm kind of like not thinking about it too hard, which is helping. Again. Got it. That high A flat sits around where that high G sits harmonics wise. So I have to kind of find that spot every time. Not quite used to it, but we'll get there. Almost. Yeah. It needs to go a bit higher in the mouth. Also, I think I'm hearing some of the slobber. So let me very quickly swab. I think it's actually kind of getting in the way of that high A flat. Oh, so silly. Okay, so I'm really extra. None of you need to do it this way. But to get it really dry, I use 2 separate swabs. All right. Let's. Yep. There we go. Okay. Okay, yeah, better because less condensation. Okay, I'm gonna do again this whole middle section, hopefully without any cheating. Yeah, I think I can still use a bit more support towards the end. Like, I think I'm letting go of it a little bit too much, but it's there now. Okay, so now I'm gonna try from the top until what we just did. Yeah, and then I think we pretty much have the entire piece. All right, I learned it. Not bad. I think there's still one spot that I really want to master. It's that bit in the main melody where you kind of like come down to a G. And I find that very difficult. Hi, Cranky. How are you doing? I love this melody. I am using this to like kind of figure out how French music works. All right, let's do that middle section. Right there. That D to G is actually very difficult to do really smooth. And part of it is a trust confidence issue. So we do it again. Okay, so I just tried a trick there, which is the same trick that you use for making sure that you really hit a middle register E smack dab without cracking. Because the middle register E is actually a very unstable note on the flute. And one way to make sure it comes out is to put a little bit more power into it, but also aim your airstream a little bit lower, because that prevents you from, like, because of the extra power, it prevents you from cracking low. And with your airstream tipped downwards, it also encourages it to not crack high. So it just kind of like sticks the landing. So I'm applying that to the change between D and G, and that seems to really help. Like, it's more reliable, especially if I am trying to put a lot of kind of like feeling and air into this. It's very easy to kind of like undershoot, overshoot that G. So yes, it works. But I think I may have overshot it, so now it's a little flat. See, my airstream was like angled too high, so it didn't want to jump down. Yeah. I am thinking of that, the G, C, E flat. It's the snapping down to the G from the D. That bit I find very difficult. Right there. Yeah, I think I get the concept, but I need a day for it to kind of like sink in. So I will be prepared for Tuesday. Yes, yes, yes. Practice it as a harmonic. I like that. I like that. Okay. I am thinking of the E flat to D as if they are throwaway notes to the G. So in my head, I am going from the long D to the G. And then the E flat D in between them are just throwaway notes. If I think of it that way, then I have more time to actually make that transition down to the G. And it's because I was doing what you were saying. So I noticed that what I really need is just like more time to make that transition. So if I treat the two little throwaway notes in between as like my time to switch between the D and the G, then I got it. So if we do it as a harmonic first. Still a little slow. Okay, we got it. I think it, again, still needs like a day or two for that to like fully settle, but I think we got it. Yeah. So I need to prepare that switch way before, because that's how you would do it if you're singing it too. Like you would do the same thing. Because also if you don't prepare ahead of time, it's absolutely going to feel and sound very kind of choppy coming down to that lower note. So I can already tell there's a lot of this kind of stuff that I'm going to have to apply in the E-Bear, especially the second movement. Like the second movement has a lot of this kind of movement as well, this kind of like these leaps and stuff like that. That sounded really good. Thank you. We got it. We figured it out. So thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your help too, and your suggestion to do it as harmonics. It's really funny because I do that with my own students, but sometimes it's hard to think of it for yourself. So thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. I think we're going to call it for today's practice session. I can really feel like I had a really good workout. Like, you know, I have that feeling of like, yes, I got stuff done. I learned things, and I need to let this information settle. So I am going to be hopping right back on camera very soon because we're going to be doing a really fun review. I didn't have time to update the thumbnail yet, so I'll update the thumbnail afterwards, like after we're done the stream, so probably sometime tomorrow. But we are going to be looking at a 14 karat Mateki. So it's basically like a Mateki version of my flute. And I wanted to compare it against my solid silver just to kind of see what the differences actually are. Granted, my solid silver needs a lot of TLC, but it can give us a rough idea of some of the differences. And just to kind of see what I was working with when my family bought this flute for me when I was 12. So yeah, just kind of like, it's going to be a bit of an introspective review. And I hope you guys enjoy the ride of me sort of revisiting my past and revisiting, you know, 12-year-old Joanna. And then we are also going to look at a really, really fun flute that I saw at the NFA. It's an 18 karat gold vintage Muramatsu. It is C-foot joint, and it has a really funny looking G to A trill. So I just wanted to show you guys that and have some fun with it. We'll probably do an actual full-on review on it as well, just for fun, just to see how it plays. But it does play wildly differently from kind of your typical modern, very modern flute. So yeah, 2 fun flutes that we're going to try right after this. I think what I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to make myself a little coffee. So a little 3-in-1, little cheeky 3-in-1 instant coffee. So I'm going to make that for myself, and then I'll come back on stream and chat with you guys. So that is already scheduled. So just you can either just like refresh the page for, you know, I think it's like youtube.com/JustAnotherFlutist/live. If you just type that in and you refresh it a couple of times, you'll probably end up seeing whatever is happening live. Otherwise, you can go to my video page or my channel. Go to the live page of my channel, and you should see the scheduled stream for, you know, 12 minutes from now. So head on over there, wait for me, I'll be there. I think I will start the stream a little bit early, and then I'll chat with you guys while I have my coffee. Then I'll be a good person, I will rinse out my mouth, you know, and then we'll get to just kind of hanging out with these flutes, all right? So I shall see you guys in just a bit, okay? If you need to sign off for now, have a wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever it is, wherever it is in your side of the world. I love you all so very much. Please stay happy and healthy and safe, because there is no music without the musician. I will see you guys in 12 minutes. All right, bye.